And I'm also happy to see that you are observing social distancing. The disease called corona has no cure. Up to now, no proper cure has been found against corona. But it's just like some of the pandemics that have come before. We had yellow fever, we had smallpox. In the past, when you're traveling internationally, you have to have a yellow fever and a smallpox certificate. This is around plus cholera. But these days, you travel without anybody asking you about smallpox or yellow fever certificate, because they have been eliminated. The way the smallpox was eliminated is the way corona is also going to be eliminated. But until such time that a cure is found against corona, we must ourselves be careful so that we don't lose so many lives unnecessarily. We don't want to lose innocent lives of Kenyans, children, our women, the elderly. It is said that corona is a bigger enemy of elderly people. That's why they've said that about 58 you don't go to church. But that will come to pass.
And if you want to know the handshake is unshakable, ask William Ruto, he'll tell you how the handshake is. But me, as James Orengo, as a senator for Siaya, I know that the handshake is unshakable, but we call upon the Prime Minister, His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga, together with his brother Uhuru Kenyatta, to work harder in these 2 years, so that the promise of a prosperous Kenya, a Kenya in which every Kenyan will be proud to be a Kenya. Kenya ambao kila mtu anastahili heshima na nchi ya Kenya pia inastahili heshima. Tuwe na heshima. I have no doubt that in your pair of two hands, you will manage to drive us across the river Jordan. And some people are talking about the deep state. I think our Prime Minister answered him adequately. What is a deep state? But those who operate the deep state, like the industrial network in developed economies, there are people who know how to rob from the state and then come back to us with lots of money which has been stolen from the people. Those are the people who know how to operate this thing called the deep state. So I conclude, kakwayo ni dalani kuobedie kendo Nyasaye oket Mama Elizabeth kama beri ekol.
He explained that it is necessary to have a referendum as soon as possible. And secondly, he explained that you cannot have a referendum at the same time you are having an election. As a lawyer, it behoves me to explain it further for those who did not understand it well. You yourselves passed the Constitution of Kenya 2010. And that Constitution says that there are certain changes in which if you are to make, you must go for a referendum. Not that you may, but you must. And if indeed it is true, as has been said, that we all agree there are certain things now we need to relook and change in the Constitution after 10 years, to the extent that the BBI report may recommend that some of them touch on Article 265, then it is mandatory that we must have a referendum. It is not a matter of discretion. It is a matter of requirement by the law. The question of money can never be an issue. It is like saying, let us not have elections in 2022 because we don't have money. Can we do that? Can we do that? Can we do that? So can we do that? Secondly, it is very simple. You cannot have a referendum to decide what to change in the Constitution at the same time you have an election under that constitution. Some people have said one of the things we need to relook is the question of the number of constituencies. We could choose to increase them, we could choose to reduce them. How can you vote to elect an MP at the same time you are voting to abolish that constituency? Some people have said there are too many counties, we should reduce them. Some want we could increase them. How can you vote to elect a governor at the same time you are voting to abolish that county? Some people have suggested that it is time we restructure the executive and have the office of prime ministers and 2 deputies. Whether we will agree on that and whether they are to be elected directly by the people or through parliament, we are yet to see. But supposing we were to elect a prime minister directly, how can you vote to elect a president and to create an office of prime minister and you don't vote to elect that prime minister? Does that mean you will come back the next day to vote for the prime minister? It becomes even doubly expensive. And therefore, it stands to logic. And for us, in the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, we are eagerly awaiting to receive the report. Once His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta and His Excellency the Prime Minister receive it, and it comes to us, then we will start that process. And we want to drive that process quickly so that we get over the referendum, and then we now prepare for Wejemak 2022.
Have been abused. Drugs have been bought at inflated prices, and now the CEO of KEMSA plus a few people in the management have been told to step aside. And I want to congratulate the chairman of KEMSA for that courage that he has taken. But I want to question that corruption in KEMSA will not be addressed single-handedly. There is a strong connection and extension of corruption in KEMSA and the accounting officer in the Ministry of Health, who must also be asked to say her role in the corruption in KEMSA. And that's why I want to say that the chairman of Council of Governors has already pointed out that it is time counties were given the mandate to procure their own medicine. I want to agree with him, because right now if you go to counties and the governor is here will tell you that there are not drugs in CI, not because the governor has not bought, but because the processes in KEMSA are bottlenecking the process. Therefore, I would like to urge that anybody who is not interested in serving this government, the government of President Uhuru Kenyatta, we are totally behind the government of President Uhuru Kenyatta, but a few elements that are derailing some of the good endeavors that are going on, that have been set up by the president, they must step aside. And we will not care whether you are who. If you are peers and you are corrupt, you are using your office to create corruption in another agency under your watch, we are telling you to step aside and we are telling you to watch your accountability.
Our Senator, I've been encouraged by you insisting in Senate that we must pass the revenue formula that was enacted by the Commission of Revenue, so that the counties in the Republic of Kenya can have the benefit to have revenue, so that people cannot suffer, especially this time of COVID. What I can say, I have watched the going in Senate, and I've seen the hyenas are grouped back. The hyenas are grouped back and they want to fight to take the meat that has been taken care of by the lion. So we must be careful who is strengthening the hyenas in Senate. We all know the leader of the hyena. So one as the leader of the hyena to allow Kenyans to get their revenue, so that when the voting goes, we should ensure, because the committee dealing with the revenue formula had already passed it. So the business of Senate is to pass it, to ensure if there's any irregularity, we can enter a new conversation.